They served with their hearts and they paid with their lives.
Tonight, the bodies of 4 Canadian soldiers are home. The men were killed in the line of duty. They died in a hostile land so far away and so far from their loved ones. It was a heart-wrenching scene at CFB Trenton this afternoon. One by one, the bodies were slowly carried across the tarmac. His comrades saluted and grieving family members held up as best they could. The members, 3 of them from Ontario, died outside Kandahar City on Friday. The individuals you're seeing on the screen right now: Master Corporal Scott Vernelli of Sault Ste. Marie, Corporal Tyler Crooks of Port Colborne. They were both killed by a booby trap while clearing out a village. Troopers Jack Boutellier of Hearst, Ontario, and Corey Hayes died when their vehicle struck a roadside bomb. We'll have more on the soldiers' return in just a moment. But first, today's ceremony comes in the wake of a huge gaffe made by an American television host.
You may have heard the story. If you haven't, CTV's Tom Hayes is here with the latest development, which happened today. Tom?
Well, Ken and Chris, the show is called Red Eye. You can see it on the Fox News channel. They think they're pretty funny. Thing is, nobody north of the border is laughing. A stark reminder today of our nation's efforts in Afghanistan. Hardly anything to joke about.
Isn't this the perfect time to invade this ridiculous country? They have no army.
Canada's military has a long history of answering the call. We were there in World War I before the Americans, and again in World War II, again before the Americans. And every November 11th, we stop for a minute and remember our courageous war dead, which makes this stuff pretty hard to stomach.
I didn't even know that they were in the war. I thought that's where you go if you don't want to fight.
Is it an ignorant comment or just a panel of ignorant hosts on the Fox News show Red Eye?
Yeah, I think it's totally obscene.
It should find better things to make fun of than for people who are really fighting.
They bill themselves as cute and humorous. They jumped all over comments made by Canadian General Andrew Leslie, who said the Canadian military will be ready for a break when it pulls out in 2011. But it was interpreted this way.
Meaning the Canadian military wants to take a breather, to do some yoga, paint landscapes, run on the beach in gorgeous white capri pants.
The show hosts do their best to push buttons. Today they are doing their best to backtrack on outrageous statements that have angered an entire country and its government.
I think it's a very narrow, ill-informed view. It's crass. It comes at a completely inappropriate time where we're receiving home 4 fallen heroes.
Late today, a statement from the main host of Red Eye, Greg Gutfeld. It was not my intent to disrespect the brave men, women, and families of the Canadian military, and for that I apologize. Red Eye is a satirical take on the news in which all topics are addressed in a lighthearted, humorous, and ridiculous manner. We buy the ridiculous part, maybe even goofy, or maybe just goofs.
They're goofs.
They were smiling, we were not. They were ugly comments, but what makes it even tougher for Canadians to swallow is that those cracks are coming from people who we have always considered to be our closest friends. But it now appears the Red Eye might just have put a black eye on that relationship. The show airs at 3 a.m., so it doesn't have a huge audience, but then it made it onto YouTube and gained a huge Canadian audience. I'm Tom Hayes. Chris?
Thanks, Tom. You can watch the entire segment from Gutfeld's show, Red Eye, through a link on our website. Just visit ctvtoronto.ca and click on the hot links.